Hello guys and welcome again to another video. Today we're gonna talk to XKO. I have another video coming out that's gonna talk a little bit more about gameplay, but today I wanted to cover the news that have been going around with all the new videos and all the new updates that have been dropped onto XKO. So let's get right into it. So, on the 24th of July, we just got two new videos from the 2XKO team, which was a breath of fresh air since it felt like we were hanging by a thread, right? Like we were just waiting for anything to show up for this game. And finally, we got something, and we got some pretty big news too. So, first of all, we are getting a closed beta in September 9th. What does that mean? A closed beta again? Like, didn't we just have like a bunch of alphas, closed betas already? Why are they still doing closed betas? But this one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be kind of like a soft launch, actually, for 2XKO, similar to what happened to Deadlock, Splitgate, or even Valorant in the beginning. So what's going to happen, you can just sign up for the beta, and slowly they're going to be adding people into the game, and the game is going to be on indefinitely. The game is basically launched from now, and it's only going off only for maintenance reasons or updates, or if it's ever necessary for the game to go down completely. And also, this is a global launch, so the game is going to be available in every region, which is really awesome. So if you want to play 2XKO, I'm going to leave the link down below to sign up for the closed beta. Be sure to click it and go sign so I can fight you out there. And together with the closed beta, we also got the review of the newest champion for 2XKO, which was Vi. Which in itself, you know, it's cool. You know, it's really nice to get a new character, and she seems very cool to play. She's very fast at brawler style, dodging around and having some pretty heavy hitting moves. It just looks really cool to play, you know. But at the same time, it was faced with some backlash from the community. Mostly people were talking about how the ultimate is weird. Like it's not bad, it just feels weird. You know, the animation is just I don't know, it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, it doesn't look bad, but it lacks that umph, you know. Vi is just really punching air right here, you know. She's not really hitting anyone besides that 1 second that we get to see Yasuo. She's basically just she's gonna what, break my monitor or what, because I don't see her hitting anyone. And there have been memes already sparking from the community about this, because let's be honest, it's her ultimate, right? It's the moment of the big glory. I hit this big hit and it's gonna do a lot of damage, and you don't even get to see the enemy that you're hitting. It's just a cinematic that's playing, and the guy just gets damage. You don't feel like you're doing damage to your enemy for real, you know? They should look into it and maybe revamp it a little bit. We did get revamps on the Ahri ult and the Echo ult, also from feedback from the community. So I'm pretty sure and hopeful that since the community has been sparking their insatisfaction with this animation, they are probably gonna change it a little bit and give it a little bit more zing, you know? Also, it's a bit too long. I think they could shorten it a little bit and just she doesn't need to throw 35 punches and then a big punch. Just I don't know, just give it a little bit more zing and pep. So not only the problem was Vi's ult, but her as the next champion in the game too. She was most likely chosen due to the arcane boom, you know, like the arcane hype, and Riot is just trying to take advantage of that. But a lot of people online expressed their madness, their insatisfaction, because the game right now has a roster of only 8 characters, right? The game has been in development for 7 years, 6 years now, and having only 8 characters, they already said that the game is going to release with 10, which is already a very low number. But right now having 8 and all these characters, just everything just feels really safe, you know. If we compare it, for example, with other fighters such as Tekken 8, which came out with 33 characters on release and already has like I think 7 or 8 more from DLCs. or Street Fighter 6, which released with 18 and already has like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 more from DLCs as well. When you compare it to League's roster, which has 171 champions, it just feels underwhelming. And not only that, it feels like the roster is a bit undercooked. League's roster has a bunch of different creatures, you know, like from beasts, ghosts, anthropomorphs, undeads, you know, there's just every type of a creature you can think, like fantasy realm creature. It's in League, you know? And for 2XKO, they decided to go the route of just going mostly for humanoid characters. We have what? Braum, which is strong man with a shield, and, you know, okay, he has the poros, and he plays around with ice, which is some pretty cool mechanics too. The point is not that he doesn't have different mechanics. Every single character has their own play style, their own differences, you know. Echo can play with time, Ahri has magic, and Braum has the shield, has ice, but it's the lackness of variation on the characters. Again, you have Darius, which is strong man with an axe. You have Illaoi, which is strong woman with a bowling ball. You have a furry woman with magic. You have skinny samurai man, and you have arcane survivor with bat, arcane survivor that boxes, and arcane terrorist. You know, and when you have so many options, it's just weird that they are picking the easy route to go, you know, or the safe route to go. Of course, they're probably also predating a little bit on the arcane hype. So it's very understandable that the community is not very pleased with the small size of the roster and the variety of characters, right? But at the same time, there is another side to this story. While I was perusing around for news, I was scouring through the depths of the internet trying to find some different things to tell you guys about this game. I stumbled upon a post from one of the developers or from the team from 2XKO, which is saying the following. Couple of things about the long dev timeline. First, the early years of this project were exploring and figuring out the right game to make. Y'all found out about this game way before we even knew what the final game was. That was partially unavoidable due to the public nature of the Radiant acquisition. Second, new team, first fighting game, so we've had to build everything from scratch, and many times learn how to do it while we do it. That just takes time. Gosh, we have been working on this 2v2 version for about 4 years now. It's a super weird timeline that only makes sense if you have insider info. I get the question. So it's short, it doesn't tell us much, but if we put this line of logic into questioning and we follow it, we have to think Radiant Entertainment, which is the team behind 2XKO, was an indie dev company which was pretty small at the time, and they were also in the middle of making an RTS game. That is when they got acquired by Riot in 2016. So at the end of the day, you got a small team transitioning into one of the biggest live service game companies in the world to make a brand new game in a brand new genre that they never touched. And even if Riot just shovels all the money in the world, that still is gonna take some time, right? They still need to figure out how this game works and how to properly make such a complex genre. Even more if we remember that the first news about 2XKO, or Project L at the time, came in 2019, which was during the pandemic years too. All that while we have to keep in mind that 2XKO is intended to be a competitive game, with ranked modes and possibly a pro scenario as well, since the game has been presented at EVO every time. So it's definitely being targeted to a certain specific audience, right? The FGC, the fighting game community. So it is very complicated to fully balance a game like this, so characters just feel good to play and also fair, right? So it still doesn't really justify the small roster size and the choice of the champion pool, but at least it starts to make sense why the game took as long as it did, and why so many changes are still being made, and why we're going actually into a soft launch and not just a direct launch in a more closed beta, so they can still get some feedback from the community and change things as they pave the way to the full launch of this game, right? So that's about it for the news for today. Again, Closed beta is coming. Sign up is free. So click the link down below. Go there, sign in for yourself, and let's play this game in September 9. I hope to see you out there. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Czar out.